Hello everyone, welcome you all to this IPL Special season. Next episode on Delhi Capitals. I'm here with Abhi, my co-host, who is representing DC for us. Hi Abhi.
Hi Dev, thanks for welcoming me. Yes, like Dev said, we'll be talking about Delhi Capitals in this episode and my thoughts and opinions on their performance in the auction and their squad for IPL 2024. Um, just representing Delhi, this is just purely from a cricketing fans perspective. Excited to talk about the team.
Thanks for the disclaimer. So let's get started. It's our same format. So first, an important question: what did you think of their overall performance in the auction for IPL 2024?
I think that what they did in the auction was not anything path breaking, head turning. They didn't do anything sensational. I think they went in with a clear cut mindset on what they needed. I think they needed uh, a dependable overseas batsman and a bowler. I think they had most of their bases covered last season, and of course, the couple of players had a dip in form. At that point, they were looking for a replacement, which they didn't have. But now, I think they went in and got a couple of good overseas players. Jai Rishabh, good fast bowler, and then Harry Brook. Not as expensive as the previous auction, Harry Brook, but still, I think a very solid buy. Uh, One thing that, of course, intrigued me was them paying 7.2 crores for an Indian wicketkeeper, Kumar Kushagra, who had a base price of 20 lakhs. I don't think a lot of us have heard a lot about him, so it will be interesting to see what he brings to the table and what he has to offer. They've also gotten players like Shai Hope for the base price, Tristan Stubbs for base price, Vicky Bhoi for base price. So yeah, it will be interesting to see. I think last season Rishabh Pant's absence hurt them because they didn't have a wicket keeper, a solid one to depend upon. They had to juggle between a couple of players, but this time they went and bought four wicket keepers in the auction. So that's something to compensate for someone's absence.
Yeah, that is very well put. Your explanation. I think I'm trying to pinpoint on Kumar Kushagra again. Do you think those 8 crores is hinting that Rishabh Pant may not be fully available? Even if he's available, he may not keep.
Probably. See, we don't know the extent of Rishabh Pant's recovery and where he is and when he we can expect him back. Mind you, the tournament starts in the next couple of months, and we haven't seen Rishabh Pant even put his pads on and do some light practice. Both BCCI and from Rishabh Pant's side as well, they've kind of metered what information we get regarding his recovery. We saw him step onto the field, do some light drills on many things. I saw a video on Instagram someone had posted. So, like you said, it's still a question mark when
Mm-hmm.
he's returning and to what extent he can play. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that's some good move to cover for him. And like I said, because Kumar Kushagra is unknown quantity, they went ahead and got like someone like a Shai Hope, who we know who's proven himself in the international stage, um, to maybe cover for him in case that move does not go as they expected.
Yeah, I think they definitely had an interesting auction, which they always do. They always go for every player and try to increase the price for every player, which also
Mhm.
means that they are doing their homework on every player, not just like 10, 20 players that they had an interest on, which is because otherwise you cannot go and bid, right? You need to know how much they would go for. So they are doing that homework, which
That's
they've been
true.
doing it in the last 2, 3 years. Every auction they've been doing it. So okay, let's just move forward. I think they bought 8, 9 players in this auction, right? The same question, like who do you think was their biggest buy? I mean, apart from Kumar Kusagra, I think he is the one who they spent most money for. Do you think it's worth the price? Apart from the reason, if he doesn't make into play now.
Like I said, it's very hard to say. I have not seen him play, so I cannot judge his potential or anything. The one thing that I've seen with these young, uncapped Indian players going for big money, there are cases where it has been very successful, like Ruturaj Gaikwad, for example, for CSK. Not many people knew him before he played for CSK, but after they picked him, I think they gave him a decent amount of money to stick with him, and he's proven to be a revelation. So that can happen. There are cases where they've gone, kind of under the radar. So it's a toss up,
Hmm.
and which is why I said they've gone with someone like Shy Hope as a
Yeah.
backup for him in case that move does not pay. And if it does pay off, he yeah, I'm very excited to see if it pays off the kind of player that we may have on our hands. The other buy is Tristan Stubbs. He played for Mumbai Indians before. He was hyped up as the next big thing, along with Devald Brewis from South African cricket. He had an underwhelming IPL last couple of seasons. They went ahead and got him for base price. He's also a good backup wicket keeping option. So yeah, those are the buys. I think, like you said, exactly. We don't know when
Hmm.
and how Rishabh Pant's going to be back. So they've covered pretty well uh, in that department because they only had, I think, Abhishek Porel last season. Now they have multiple options to play with, and yeah, they've been very smart about it. The other player I'm excited to see is Harry Brook. We all know what he's capable of.
Yeah.
He showed it. He showed glimpses of it in last IPL when he scored that 100 for SRH, and then after that there was nothing.
Hmm.
Maybe now that he doesn't have, the weight of him getting big money in the auction, it'll be interesting to see if he'll play well as well. But I think, yeah, Delhi Capitals, I think they look like a good unit, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see who their choices will be, what playing 11 they go with.
Okay. Yes, I think so. Based on what you're saying, I would take Sai Hope or Tristan Stubbs is one of the person who you think is a steal, considering they bought them for 75 lakhs and 50 lakhs.
Yes, yes. Shai Hope is a very experienced international player. We know his potential as a test player, but recently he started playing really well in T20 ice as well.
Hmm.
And then Tristan Stubbs, we all know what he's like. He's been hyped up. His
Yeah.
potential. He showed it in the SA T20 and in international T20 circuits. It'll be interesting to see if we can bring it to the IPL.
Okay. Yes, we're definitely looking forward to see more of them. And to point out, I completely agree with the point that the Harry Brook prize money point, where it's less than a quarter of what he was getting last year.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to make him help him breathe easy, but I also think it's going to make the franchise itself feel better of having him, and they do not mind giving him rest in a couple of games, even if it's needed, rather than no, you paid 18 crores for him, you have to play him in every game. Considering DC is kind of in a desperate state now, so they might be forced to do it if they had got him for that high of a price, like SRH was last time, where they couldn't win anything, and so they couldn't drop him considering the amount that they paid for and all those things. So yeah, in addition to the player, maybe it's also benefiting the franchise to make a tactical call rather than just financial call in the
Hmm.
playing level.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So the important question: who do you think is their four foreign players would be?
I think I think starting off, of course, David Warner. He's been one of the most consistent players ever in IPL history. Every
Hmm.
season he goes out to bat, we can expect minimum 400 runs from him. So he's going to play once again. I think I have no doubts. yes, he's not playing international cricket, but I think the caliber of the player is not going to go down. I don't know about Mitchell Marsh's fitness and availability. If he's fit
Mhm.
and available, they will probably go with Mitchell Marsh because when he played for them for a couple of games, he played really well. Of course, Andrik Nokia, he's also been a very dependable player for DC in the last couple of seasons.
Mhm.
They're going to go with Andrik Nokia, and I would say it's going to be a toss up between Harry Brook and Lungi Ngidi. That's just my opinion to start with, because uh, they're bringing Harry Brook in their top order batting. It's very strong. They have two good international players and Mitchell Marsh also to kind of bolster the lineup. And Mitchell Marsh can also bowl, so that means that they have a bowling option covered. They have Andrik Nokia, and I think they have a very good Indian bowling contingent, Delhi. So their dependence on foreign fast bowlers can kind of reduce a little bit so that they can concentrate more on their batting. So that's to start with. I would think they would go with these four guys, and again, depending on the conditions, they have Jai Richardson as well. So depending on the condition, they can go with two fast bowlers, foreign fast bowlers, and two batsmen. So yeah, that's a good balance to have any day in any team.
That's most likely, I think, based on what you're
Hmm.
saying. And probably Stubbs would have to sit on the bench and be a backup. And I agree with you that the toss up between Brook and Ngidi probably depends on how well their Indian bowlers are playing. I think they might be inclined to go with Brook in the
Hmm.
first game
Beginning,
and
especially.
see how the Indian bowlers play well. And if they are struggling, if they need foreign bowler, then they might bring in um, Richardson. Right.
They have two really quality Indian spinners just right off the top. Like Kuldeep
Yeah.
Yadav and Akshar Patel walks into any IPL playing 11 for me.
Mhm.
So they'll obviously hold their spots. They have Mukesh Kumar, who's turned out to be an all-format bowler for India recently. So he has some international experience behind him. So he might be very valuable for them as well. They have Khalil Ahmed. He's pretty decent buy as well for them. They've gotten Rasik Dhar, uh, also probably a backup, but I
Mhm.
think these four players, Mukesh, Khalil, uh, Aksar, and Kuldeep, will just start it out for them. They will have Mitchell Marsh, and they can probably have an Indian bowler as the sub, maybe Lalit Yadav, Praveen Dubey, someone like that. They can always have them as the impact player and have them come in. Going with Harry Brook and David Warner gives them a lot more strength and stability in the batting, because Prithvi Shaw, as we all know, did not have a great IPL last year. So having that extra security in the batting will be important for them. They also have a lot of inexperience in the Indian batting contingent. Otherwise, Yash Dul, we have Kumar Kushagra, who they bought, Abhishek Porel. So having an experienced international player might benefit them. All of
That
this is, of
that
course,
sounds
if Rishabh Pant does not play, if Rishabh Pant plays, they are a completely different unit.
true. And I definitely agree with you on the bowling front. All right, I think we are almost ready to wrap up. But before wrapping up, I just want to one quick question. This is out of service question. I personally am still surprised that they let go of Phil Salt, considering he played really well for the limited chances that he got for DC. And it was even more surprising that he went unsold.
I think Phil Salt was their other wicket keeping option if they
Mm-hmm.
know what they had last year.
Yeah.
I think he was also like Harry Brook. We all saw his kind of. He's from the new wave of England batsmen who are like, okay, let's just go and go bang bang from ball one. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
all the talk about Baz ball. So uh, I think I've seen him play in the 100 and in the Big Bash League, if I'm not mistaken, and his big hitting ability just took me by awe. So this is something I, I feel this is a trend, Deva, where uh, we have these big hitting English Australian batsmen who play really well in big bash on 100, and then when they come to IPL, they suddenly struggle. I don't know whether if it's the Indian conditions or whether it's the expectations of playing in the IPL as such a big tournament. I don't know what it is, but it's been the history. Very few batsmen have, you know, come through the ranks like that. So, yeah, he might have been a useful player to have for any outlet as a backup, but I don't think he like because of other teams, options with the wicket keeping front. I don't think he walks into a playing 11, but he might have been a good utility player to have. But uh, Delhi more than made up for it with their buys in the auction, 3 4 wicket keepers, and I think they're set for next year.
Yeah, I understand, and I cannot agree more. Even the great Josh Butler took 2 to 3 seasons, if not more, to get into the lightning form that he is in the
Yeah.
last couple of years. All right, so
Other
with
player,
that,
Liam Livingstone is a classic example. He was playing IPL for 3 4 seasons now. Not until the last season he was able to attack fully and give big performances. So yeah, I think it's there is a tax period where you have to come through the ranks a couple of years before you start hitting the ground running in IPL.
yes, yes. All right, thank you everyone for joining us in this special episode on Delhi Capitals. Thank you, Abhi, for your valuable insight on the team. We hope you all enjoyed. We're looking forward to bringing you a few more episodes on the other teams. See you all soon. Bye.